Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to share a story that really makes you think about compassion, consequences, and the sometimes tough realities of life. It's a tale that might seem simple on the surface, but it carries a powerful message we can all learn from. So, grab a comfy seat, because this one's going to stick with you. Our story begins in a charming, windswept seaside village, the kind where the scent of salt is always in the air, and the rhythm of the waves dictates daily life. Here lived a man named Mr. John, a fisherman by trade. He was a quiet, kind-hearted soul, often described as lonely, perhaps because his life was mostly spent out on the open sea, or mending his nets in solitude. He had a deep well of empathy, a quality that would soon be tested in an unexpected way. One crisp morning, Mr. John embarked on a journey to a neighboring village, his boat laden with the freshest catch of the day, ready to sell his fish. The path was winding, hugging the coastline, and as he walked, he encountered a sight that tugged at his heartstrings. There, by the side of the road, sat a man, haggard and worn, clutching a small, whimpering bundle. As Mr. John drew closer, he realized the bundle wasn't just any animal. It was a tiny tiger cub, no bigger than a house cat, its eyes wide with a mixture of fear and hunger. The poor man, clearly struggling, explained his predicament. He was desperate, unable to feed his own family, let alone this wild animal. With a heavy heart, he offered Mr. John the cub in exchange for some fish, hoping it would have a better chance at survival with someone else. Now, imagine Mr. John's dilemma. Here was this vulnerable creature, clearly in need, and a human being in distress. His compassionate nature immediately took over. Without a second thought, Mr. John agreed. He handed over a generous portion of his fish, took the little cub into his arms, and started his journey back home. A new, tiny companion nestled close. When Mr. John returned to his village, the sight of him carrying a tiger cub caused quite a stir. The villagers, naturally, were astonished, their faces a mixture of disbelief and concern. They gathered around, their voices hushed, then growing louder with warnings. "Mr. John," they cautioned, "a tiger is a wild animal. It's not a pet. It will grow, and its instincts will take over." They spoke of the inherent danger, the untamed nature that couldn't be domesticated. But Mr. John, holding the small, purring cub, listened patiently. He understood their fears, but his heart was already committed. He promised them he would be careful, that he would raise the cub with love and ensure its well-being, while also keeping the village safe. He believed that with enough care and affection, he could nurture this creature into a gentle companion. And so, Mr. John embarked on an extraordinary journey, raising the tiger cub as if it were his own child, showering it with attention, food, and companionship. The cub, whom he affectionately named Stripes, thrived under Mr. John's care. It grew rapidly, its playful pounces turning into powerful leaps, its soft purrs evolving into rumbling growls. The villagers watched with a mixture of awe and apprehension as Stripes transformed from a cute cub into a magnificent, powerful tiger. Mr. John, however, saw only his beloved companion. He and Stripes formed an incredibly strong bond, spending their days together, walking the beaches, and sharing quiet moments by the fire. Mr. John felt a profound attachment to Stripes, believing their connection transcended the boundaries of species. He was convinced that their unique relationship had somehow tamed the wild heart of the tiger. Life continued in this unusual harmony until one fateful day, a severe storm struck the region. Heavy rains lashed down for days, causing a massive landslide that blocked the only road connecting Mr. John's village to the outside world. This meant Mr. John, who had gone to the next town for supplies, was stranded. What was supposed to be a day trip turned into several agonizing days of waiting for the road to clear. He worried incessantly about Stripes back home, knowing his companion depended on him for food and care. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the road was cleared, and Mr. John rushed back to his village, his heart pounding with a mixture of hope and fear. As he approached his humble cottage, a chilling silence hung in the air. He found Stripes, not playfully greeting him as usual, but lying weak and gaunt, its powerful frame reduced by hunger. The tiger's eyes, usually bright and expressive, were now clouded with a desperate, primal hunger. Filled with immense relief and compassion, Mr. John's first instinct was to comfort his starving friend. He called out Stripes' name, his voice filled with love and reassurance, and moved slowly, gently, towards the weakened animal, ready to offer food and solace. But as he drew near, something fundamental shifted. The days of starvation had stripped away the veneer of companionship, pushing Stripes to the very edge of survival. The tiger, its mind clouded by an overwhelming, agonizing hunger, no longer saw its loving caregiver. It saw only prey. In a terrifying, instantaneous blur, the starving tiger's wild instincts, honed over countless generations, took over completely. The years of affection, the shared moments, the bond Mr. John believed was unbreakable, all vanished in the face of raw, desperate survival. With a guttural snarl that tore through the quiet cottage, Stripes lunged. Mr. John, caught completely off guard, had no time to react. The powerful jaws, once playfully nipping, now snapped shut with lethal intent. This heartbreaking story teaches us a profound and sometimes difficult lesson. It reminds us that some things, like a tiger's true inherent nature, are deeply ingrained and ultimately cannot be changed. No matter how much love or effort we pour into them, Mr. John, in his boundless compassion, acted out of emotion, ignoring the very real, inherent risks and the wild reality of the creature he adopted. He believed love could conquer all, even primal instincts. His story is a powerful reminder that while compassion is a beautiful and essential human quality, it must always be balanced with an acceptance of reality and a clear understanding of potential consequences. Sometimes, acting purely out of emotion, while disregarding objective truths or inherent dangers, can lead to unforeseen and tragic harm. It's crucial for us to acknowledge and accept the truth, even when it's uncomfortable, and understand that in certain situations, maintaining a safe and respectful distance is not an act of coldness, but an act of wisdom and self-preservation. This doesn't mean we shouldn't be compassionate, but it means we should be wise in where and how we direct that compassion. We can learn to give generously, to love deeply, but also to recognize boundaries and fundamental truths. It's about being kind, yes, but also about being smart and protecting ourselves and others from harm that could arise from well-intentioned but misguided actions. Understanding the world as it truly is, with all its complexities and inherent natures, allows us to navigate it more safely and wisely. What do you think about Mr. John's story? Have you ever found yourself in a situation where your heart wanted one thing, but reality was telling you another? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to this story. If you found this video thought-provoking, please hit that like button Subscribe to the channel for more stories and insights. And don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Your support means the world to me. Stay safe, stay thoughtful, and I'll see you in the next one.